Acolytes. The IDubbbz situation got much worse from more Pegasus. Let's see this, because I already seen this, wreck. The entire debate between Ethan and Hassan. It's... I actually didn't want to do anything about it, but for F's sake, when IDubbbz gets shafted, I don't know why, I just think it's so cathartic. For some reason, I am not happy, I just think that it's well deserved. So yeah, there's that. Let's just see what he has to say about it.
You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing.
Okay, IDubbbz has just dropped a content deputy video on H3H3, and this might be the single worst video IDubbbz has ever uploaded. He really did shave off half his brain cells with that haircut. Modern day IDubbbz kind of feels like what happens to you after Dementors from Harry Potter suck the happiness out of you for like...
Yeah, and the Dementor is his wife. And... on point, by the way, on point.
24 hours straight. But anyways, I kind of expected IDubbbz to actually take some of the criticism from the internet from his last Content Cop video, you know, since he learned empathy at the age of 30. But no, instead he doubles down. He implies that Ethan deserved to have CPS called on his kids over an internet argument. Yes. He says how it was perfully fine to leave out that context in the main Content Cop.
Yeah, I have to watch this. This is disgusting. No.
Video and literally manipulate millions of people. He also blames Ethan for ruining their charity event when it was literally IDubbbz's fault for posting the Content Cop in the first place. He says that Ethan was triggered by the CPS call, which is probably one of the most insane things I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, let's just check this video out, see what he's saying.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, no shit he got triggered by that. No effing shit. Because of an internet dispute. Yeah, he has a right to be triggered.
I was hoping that if I made a video about Ethan, he would act like an adult and he would keep the attacks directed at me and Anissa. Unfortunately, I was wrong in thinking that, because Ethan, in a desperate attempt to attack and smear Anissa and I, he started attacking our charity event.
I don't know if you know this, but last year they lost $250,000. To be charitable, you actually have to give money to charity.
Yeah, IDubbbz just doesn't like people pointing out that he mismanaged the funds in a charity event and lost $250,000. He doesn't actually like people mentioning that he literally threw a gala/party with money that was supposed to be going to charity. Yeah. And of course, he doesn't like people mentioning that he did a bunch of extra expenses for no reason and essentially ruined the charity event. And as I've said in the past, convincing people that the event would generate money for charity when it didn't is borderline scammy. And in my opinion, if you ever fail a charity event of this scale, you should never be allowed to host one ever again, because...
The thing is, yes, I agree with him. There should be some laws against it. And it was borderline scamming. And the thing is, it's just... I just don't know why people still trust him. They're... Okay, irrelevant.
You just can't be trusted. So no, I don't blame Ethan for criticizing your charity event, because the last one you royally messed it up. Also, he talks about how Ethan should act like an adult when you were the guy doing the Fortnite L dance in your video, saying, "Wake up, Ethan." Weren't you the guy who also literally contacted some random dude to change Ethan's apology grading to a lower number because you didn't think his apology was good enough? Sounds pretty childish to me. Now, this next part, IDubbbz for some reason thinks that the internet is on his side.
He's highlighting this post that equates Creator Clash to a crypto rug pull. He's saying the event is going to be worse than TanaCon.
Fair enough.
Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Ela. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so that will rest solely on my shoulders. But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it.
Hey, dumbass, it's me, the internet. We don't blame Ethan for the event's failure. We actually blame you, IDubbbz. We blame you and your group of disgusting goons that relentlessly harass and bully people. And when people finally give you a taste of your own medicine, you play victim and cry to the internet hoping they'll forgive you. People are sick of listening to hypocritical skinwalkers such as yourself. And how can you talk about taking accountability accountability when you literally just blame the failure of your event on Ethan. You were the one who made the content cop out of the blue, unprompted. You were the one who decided to partner with Hassan, Denims, and Frogan. You knew these people were very controversial and very hated, and you did it anyways, and you ruined the charity event again. Actually feel some shame, man. This is just sad. Then IDubbbz says that he's stepping away from Creator Clash, and how convenient is that? You step away when the event is crashing and burning and remove your name off of it.
Now, with this recent revelation that people are just going to use Creator Clash to attack Anissa and I have decided to step away from Creator Clash. We have relinquished control to our business partners who ran the previous 2 events. They're very capable. They know exactly what they're doing. They run events on a regular basis. The event is still happening. Anissa and I just don't have any financial ties. We don't have any ownership. We are, you know, I think just going to be known as the founders of the event. I can't keep my mouth shut. I can't, I mean, I can. I just didn't want to. I want to be frank. I want to be honest.
Okay. I'm going to be honest. The best thing he could have done here. This is the best thing he could have done. Just give it to somebody else that probably will not mismanage it. Fair enough. And I really hope you two, even if you're known as the founders, just split away from it. This will help. If you just split away from it, it will help the event way more than if you actively actually try to do something.
You're going to talk shit like a foul beast on the internet, or you're going to have a charity event. You know, it really can't be both.
So you just admitted that it is your fault that the event failed. You couldn't keep your mouth shut. You decided to attack and pick a fight with Ethan, and that's why the event is crashing and burning and all the main fighters are pulling out. You decided to get political, and you partnered with a bunch of extremists. I mean, what did you expect was going to happen? You think people will just accept your terrorist-supporting, grapes-denying friend? People actually have standards, and they probably want charity done by actual good people who they can trust. And I just love how this weasel is pulling out now after ruining everything and acting like he's doing something noble here. It's literally the least you could do after tanking a charity event, bro. And don't worry, people are not going to forget. You wanted everyone to forget about Creator Clash 2 and how you lost so much money? Well, you just refreshed everybody's memory.
It's still happening, June 28th. I'm just not going to be involved in it. Please, for the love of God, support this event. You know, I feel like in some ways I'm like cutting off an arm so that I could escape the bear trap.
Wow, IDubbbz, you're so noble. You're sacrificing yourself here. Is that available in your course on empathy at the age of 30? Listen, I honestly do not trust a single word this guy says. Him and his group of snake friends have been caught lying so many times that I can't trust that you somehow don't have some sort of stake in this, all right? Maybe he's being honest, but judging by the way he treats his former best friend and completely lies about him and smears him, how do I know that he's not snaking us too, that he doesn't have some sort of a hidden stake in this event? I'd much rather someone else put on a
You can't be certain about it. If a snake like him bites you once, you have to execute it. And by executing it, I mean not literally, you know, but just do not do the things that he is doing. Simple as that.
charity event and everyone go support that. Literally anyone but IDubbbz. Now, IDubbbz talks about how he's so offended that people call him and his friends anti-Semitic.
I think the worst criticisms I labeled at Ethan is that he's a bad boss, a tyrant of a boss. I just implied that he was being taken advantage of by people either in his community or outside of his community, and I called him a bitch-made coward. Before Ethan even knew what my video was about, he was already framing me as anti-Semitic.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. This Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I mean, was he wrong? If your company is literally these guys, I will also assume that you are anti-Semitic. I'm kind of tired of pretending that these guys aren't overtly racist. You disgusting freaks have taken this war in the Middle East, and instead of actually trying to support any victims or have any form of reasonable debate, you have used it to promote your own career, make more money off your audience, harass people that barely disagree with you. Ethan is openly pro-Palestine, and you still treat him like dirt. How can anybody support you when you endorse the CPS call to his kids, you endorse these racist tier lists, you endorse and partner with someone like Hassan who laughs at dead babies, calls them settlers, literally threatens to kill US senators, denies SA, denies grapes happening. For once in your life, stop fucking using this war as an excuse, all right? How does people dying on the other side of the world make it okay for your privileged dumbass in America to do horrible shit? What kind of stupid logic is this? You're not fooling anyone with your fake activist BS. You want to know the...
More Pegasus. I agree with him to 100%. The things that those people are doing are disgusting. And don't get me wrong, I understand freedom of speech. I know it's important for everybody. But to the degree that that's abused in this case, it's disgusting. It is disgusting. Words can permanently harm a person. It's possible. You can harm someone by mentally harming them. You can do that. You can wound them permanently. And I know I am not a free speech purist, by the way, acolytes. I am not. And the thing is, it's just, if it was just a bunch of rich people that actually go at each other's throat, I wouldn't care. Their life is easy enough to actually get this, well, ball rolling and just keep on going for them. But innocent people are getting used just to further careers on some of those freaks. And I agree with more Pegasus on it. And it's just disgusting. There, in my opinion, at this point, if you're calling out for actual violence against people, there should be consequences.
The bitter truth, Palestinians probably hate your guts for completely hijacking the movement and misrepresenting them and making them look horrible.
Probably.
You, Hassan, Denims, and Frogan have probably turned more people away from the cause than anybody on the internet.
Yeah.
Then IDubbbz talks about the CPS call.
You were triggered by the CPS harassment thing, and then you immediately equated Anissa and I to it. That was sloppy, and that was horrendous, and it was horrendous for us.
Oh my god, Ethan, you're such a snowflake. Did you get triggered by the CPS call, Ethan? Oh my god, you're such a little whiny snowflake. Hey, Ethan, I know that people literally called CPS on your kids and did the most insane harassment you have ever experienced in your 10 years on YouTube. Sent you human skulls in the mail, which may or may not imply your 2 kids. But me, IDubbbz, I'm actually friends with the...
Literal skulls. What a effing waste. I could have used those for servants. Those skulls could have been useful.
Guys who support that, actually. I totally approve, actually. I can't believe you'd be triggered by that, Ethan. Why would you be triggered that people came after your children? Are you like a protective father or something? What? Dude, what am I watching? I don't even like Ethan. I think politics is very cringe and it makes people very stupid.
I agree.
But I'm so angry for him and the people he's dealing with.
Oh, and the thing is, before I actually forget it, for those who don't know my stance, I dislike every single one of the people that are involved in this. But how Ethan is getting treated is still disgusting. I don't particularly have to like a person to see that they are treated extremely unfairly and to a disgusting degree.
With. These are some of the most unreasonable D-bags I've ever seen on the internet. IDubbbz, if you're watching this, you are not behaving normally. This is completely insane sociopathic behavior.
Yes.
I don't know if this is your wife controlling you or you acting on your free will or your friends puppeting you, but this is beyond pathetic, man. You need to get some serious help. And I don't think you have the room.
The thing is, I do not care at this point. Even if his wife is manipulating him, this is totally irrelevant. Those actions, even if he's manipulated to them, are still his own. He decided to do it. Done. And it's to such a long time that he should, if he's manipulated, he should have realized it by now. Because it's not like it's a young love about 6 months and he was blinded by it. No, this is a few years by now. A few good years. If he actually wanted, he would recognize if he gets manipulated. I just think this comes from himself.
To lecture anybody about anything after you reduced a CPS call to Ethan getting triggered. I mean, you've pretty much lost the respect of every single person in the commentary community. You used to be so respected, and now you're just like another lobotomized Hassan fan. Anyways, now IDubbbz says the line. He says he was just being empathetic, guys. This was all a show of his empathy.
Very empathetic.
What's very insane about this content cop is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video. I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that video, because I was like, he has explained before that that's personally insulting to him and he doesn't like that. You know, regardless of how true it is, I was like, I'm going to think about Ethan's feelings and not mention this. Fast forward to him reacting to my video, he's just outright calling me a Nazi.
Is it a coincidence that Ian really shaved his head just before doing this video and he's holding a swastika one? I mean, we can free Palestine without being a Nazi.
I mean, don't you guys literally call Ethan racist 24/7? Literally yesterday in the H3H3 Hassan debate, Hassan is screaming at Ethan, losing his mind, calling him a racist piece of shit.
You fucking moron! You racist piece of shit!
Oh wow, apparently it's not fun when people do it back to you, huh? And honestly, I don't blame Ethan for thinking this. The way you guys act, it's like you're the modern day cringe internet version of Nazis. Also, I love this empathy shtick he's got going on. I was thinking of Ethan, guys. I'm just such a nice guy.
Yeah.
You guys just don't understand. IDubbbz was being empathetic in that video when he was lying to 7 million people and smearing his name and leaving out context and manipulating people and bringing together his worst enemies and flipping him off. That was empathetic, man. The amount of insane gaslighting, my brain is exploding and I'm not even Ethan, bro. He probably popped a blood vessel watching this.
I'm done being nice to Ethan. I gave it a chance. My sincerity and my empathy in that last video was real. I was even equating to him having crash out moments in the same way that Denims could have crash out moments. I think we're all capable of it.
That was nice. That was you being nice. You making a hit piece video trying to ruin his life and career was nice. With friends like these, who honestly needs enemies?
I just want to remark, this person thinks that he is morally superior to you. I know I repeat myself a lot of times with this, but hey, it's true.
Also, Denims is another insane psychopath that this actual lobotomite can't stop promoting. Have you guys seen that show Severance, by the way? I feel like the real IDubbbz is trapped at home or something, and we have this other version of IDubbbz whose brain is just infested with maggots. I'm just so confused what actually happened to the old IDubbbz. We might actually be in an episode of Severance. Then IDubbbz pulls like the most manipulative shit I've ever seen and somehow tries to justify the CPS call and says that it had nothing to do with the video.
The main criticism that I was seeing online with my video from Ethan and Hila is that I didn't mention the CPS call.
There's really just one central point that I want to make here. My good friend Ian, in his hour-long takedown, did not mention one time Child Protective Services.
I wonder why I wouldn't mention the CPS call. Could it be that the CPS call happened the same day that you were shit-talking me, and I didn't have any chance to defend myself? You just immediately, in the same podcast, right next to each other, said, CPS call was very traumatic. And then you said, Ian and Anissa. And you linked those together, you kind of layered those flavors, and then Anissa and I got a bunch of harassment. We had nothing to do with the CPS call. What are all these comments on your Reddit saying like, it happened because of the CPS call?
Ethan was talking about you not mentioning the CPS call in your content cop video, the one you uploaded 2 weeks ago. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about here. You talked about Ethan crashing out the entire video and didn't mention that he's understandably rattled because CPS was called on his kids. Also, did you guys notice he's doing the exact same shit Hassan is doing? I had nothing to do with the CPS call, guys, but also I have no problem with it, and I'm best friends with Hassan, Denims, Frogan, and Bad Empanada, and everybody who led to the CPS call, actually. And then later he even says Ethan deserved the CPS call. So let's not act like you don't completely agree with the call, you absolute gaslighting motherflipper. Then IDubbbz proceeds to defend Denims. I mean, he's so far gone.
Is on her platform right now advocating for our children to be forcibly removed from us by Child Protective Services.
The problem with this CPS thing is that Ethan has proven to be a manipulative piece of shit. So when he calls on me to defend him, what the f am I meant to do?
Ah, yes. Denims did not condone the CPS call, guys. IDubbbz, can you please plug your brain back into your socket there? Can you look at her actions rather than what she says? She was literally on stream talking about Ethan's kids eating dog shit days before the CPS call.
Why does it have to be anyone else's fault but your own? Take some responsibility. It's just so bizarre that Ethan would expect Anissa and I to make a statement when Denims herself already made a statement about it and said that she does not condone calling CPS.
So we're talking about CPS. 1, I don't condone. 2, I've never condoned it, and you will not be able to find a clip of me saying, yes, we should do this, because it doesn't exist. I've literally given Ethan Klein credit on multiple times or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now, for not showing photos of his kids.
Wasn't Denims the person who said it doesn't matter if you call CPS because kids don't form memories at the age of 3 and they actually can't have any trauma at the age of 3? And then didn't she directly read evidence that contradicts what she said and still said that, oh, kids still can't form memories at the age of 3? IDubbbz is doing this thing where he will believe every word that any of his friends ever say without looking at their actions. And people like Denims will always gaslight you like this, say they care about you while actively stabbing you in the back. Hassan does the same shit, and so do you, IDubbbz. When you say something, I don't freaking believe it because I look at your actions. You probably say shit like, I don't condone harassment on Ethan. I care about Ethan. I have empathy. Meanwhile, you make this video trying to ruin his life and partner with people who want his kids taken away. Your actions reveal your true character. Never trust people's words. Then IDubbbz tries to pretend that he was never good friends with Ethan.
Ethan acts like we're such great friends and that like he shared such intimate moments with me, but it's all horseshit. He's lying. Like the whole thing is a lie. He's manipulating his audience. We did not have a close relationship.
You guys were buddies for a long time.
He texted me like one time like, hey dude, we should talk this out. And I was like, I don't feel like having this conversation right now. That's it. So Ian kept trying to get me on the phone or text with me. And I told him, dude, honestly, I don't feel like having this conversation right now.
Okay.
Fair, right? I just didn't want to do it. Okay?
Just in that particular moment, and then like at all?
Well, it turns out I didn't want to talk to him at all.
Okay.
If the relationship was that close, you would have talked to me on the phone.
Hasn't IDubbbz referred to Ethan as his best friend and collabed in multiple videos across the years, appeared on podcasts together, had a good time together, invited him in his home as well, explicitly stated that they were good friends? IDubbbz trying his absolute best to rewrite history here. And of course, Ethan doesn't want to talk to you now. Now, obviously, you guys are not friends. Now, obviously, he doesn't like you. And in any recent events, obviously, he doesn't like you and he would hate your guts. So no, you don't deserve a second chance. And just because he didn't talk to you doesn't mean you weren't friends in the past. And honestly, if you were like my best friend ever and you pulled the shit you did to Ethan, I'm sorry, I'm not talking to you either. You are no longer a...
I mean, is this even worth mentioning? Of course not. If a red like that bites you a few times, no. Cut them off. F that.
Friend, I'm just gonna assume you got kidnapped by aliens and turned into somebody else. You're a pathetic husk of a man controlled by his OnlyFans wife and scummy political reject friends. Nobody respects you.
I'm sure there's anti-Semitic people that are attacking you guys, but they're not me. They're not Anissa. It's not Hassan. It's not all of these other creators that you're attacking.
Yeah, that's just a lie. It is exactly those people. If you look at what Hassan says and don't think he's anti-Semitic, you have completely lost your mind. Hassan has literally gone on stream and said that you should not yield when talking about supporting Hamas. Not Palestine. He's talking about the terrorist group that literally kills Palestinians when they protest. The terrorist group, his entire foundation lies on the fact that they want death to all Jays.
Come to you and say, oh, I guess you love Hamas then. And in that moment, you can't fucking yield, okay?
Hassan has also said that if you've ever had any positive feelings about the state of Israel ever in your entire life ever, you should be treated like a neo-Nazi, ran off the streets, and not even be able to be the local dog walker. So he's not talking about now. He's talking about ever in your life ever, which is basically every Jew. So that is like straight up anti-Semitic, bro.
You shouldn't even let someone be the fucking local dog catcher as Felix was posting. If they've ever exhibited any sort of like positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm so serious about this.
I hope you enjoy partnering with literally the most radical nutjob on the internet, who actually just said on stream today that he's afraid that he's going to go to jail because of his open terrorist support.
They support Hamas, a
I might literally be going to jail
on their hands.
Then he defends Frogan for some reason.
You're not the biggest victim on the internet, Ethan. There are a lot of people that you've just bullied and they have nothing to gain out of it. Frogan isn't making a bag from this. She's not getting content out of this. You're attacking her in relentless ways and endorsing so much worse harassment than what even you send her way.
Ah, yes, calling someone circumferentially blessed is the same as having CPS called on your kids. Good job, IDubbbz. You learned empathy. Congratulations. Now, IDubbbz also tries to say that the dislikes on the video are fake and conveniently gives no screenshots.
Because I know that a lot of these fuckers, they love their dislike button extensions. And I saw that shit and I was like, what the f? These are all like fabricated numbers. The like-dislike ratio was like 80-20 on my video, and then they tried to create a narrative of like, no, people actually hate this content cop, guys. It's actually so much worse. Like people were more upset with like my wife being on OnlyFans.
Ah, yes, let's show a screenshot of the dislikes on a video from 5 years ago, but not the dislikes of the current video. And you can just kind of read the comments here. My favorite line in the video is that he claims that the CPS call happened the same day he was making the video, so he didn't reference it. Meanwhile, he references a video that has the title clearly in it, indicating the CPS incident. If you're gonna lie, can you at least try? I love how Anissa's husband is allowed to post on her channel. I'm sure the Palestinians are extremely invested in this. I've discovered empathy. I've heard of psychopaths with more empathy than you. Now close this video or you become a puck like...
Oh, for F's sake. No, it's just a freak show right now. This is... I just don't... I agree with more Pegasus and 100% of the time. This is just disgusting. It's just something that shouldn't be. And as I said, it just... Just don't watch those people for F's sake. Not directly. Watch things about them, yes, but not them directly. I think this is the only way how we could actually end this. But as it is, good night, acolytes.